everyone. Monday going. Ooh, Dave, you asked a little free for something.
All right, who we got coming in here? We got Todd. That's it, just Todd. Dang. Oh no, we got Paul, Jeremy, Sarah.
Sarah, yeah.
You didn't show up on the display. What's up with that?
What is up with that?
Okay, looks like everything's good to go. Could go to our faces. How about that?
If I need to figure out how to get the thing streaming on the the Camp Mograph live channel, just have it going.
Oh, through Discord?
Yeah. Probably do it on my secondary computer while it's going.
Or they could just go to the YouTube channel.
Or they could go to the YouTube channel.
Yes. NBD. All right, looks like we got everybody in here showing up and things, and we got our audition. Are y'all ready to start doing a little recordy?
Sure.
All right.
Yes.
New audio.
Test. 1 2 1 2. Cool.
Check. All right, I am rolling.
I am rolling as well.
Everybody else. Nate says, I'm not gonna lie, I'm only here for Dorpy.
Sorry, Nate.
Let's see.
Don't mind me, I will be eating Halloween candy throughout the entire show.
Is that keto or?
No.
Oh.
I can't do keto. Keto kills my tummy tums. My tummy tum don't like it.
Why's that?
Because I got no gallbladder. I can't digest fats very well.
Oh, the meats?
Yeah.
There's
I
plenty of other
don't
ways
think that
to
can
get
be for
protein.
everyone.
Yeah.
Get you some veggie keto.
Veggie keto.
Yeah. All right, let's turn this coffee off. It is burning. Okay, there we go.
Gotta go through my phone in order to turn off my coffee.
I do have to do that. First world problems. My hat's not completely straight. Let's see, which way do I go?
Come
That
on,
way?
Dave.
That way?
What is this,
Get it
amateur
together.
hour?
What is this, amateur hour? All right, is everybody rolling?
I am rolling, yes.
All right, we're going to do a
Rolling.
little sync clap. It will be 1, 2, 3, clap. Here
Okay.
we go. 1, 2, 3. Cool. Everything is rolling, and Dorpy for president.
Oh.
That's funny.
I feel like Dorpy's the new people's people.
People's
Just wait
dog.
till you meet the new ones, you know.
Oh boy, how many puppets did you buy, Dave?
There's a lot of puppets in this bin over here, I just gotta say. I have a bin of puppets.
Not weird.
All right.
We won't meet any new ones today. I thought about it, but not enough time to write. You know, I gotta come up with names for them too. You know, that's the thing.
Right,
You know.
right, that makes sense.
Like Manic Mailman.
There you go. You got one.
All right, we're rolling. I've got my notes. Let me copy paste my notes for the Notion for the drop before I forget that. And then we'll do a thing. Podcast 303. That's a lot. From this point on, it's a lot. All right. Cool. Everybody feeling good?
Cool.
Everybody ready?
Feeling
Let's
great.
do it.
Let's do it. The NFT Puppet Hour. You should have a show that's just all puppets.
That's like your dream right
Yeah.
there.
Jim Henson
It's
is
just
my
to have a
spirit
show
animal.
full of puppets. Yeah.
All right, here we go. What's up, and welcome to another Mograph Mocast. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt. Joining us today is a super talented Angie Ferret.
Hey.
And Mograph is a supplement to our site, mograph.com, which is a motion graphics tutorial site with tutorials, plugins, podcasts, and other Mograph stuff. And on the show, we talk about everything ranging from motion graphics to Cinema 4D, After Effects, plugins, render engines, doing business, doing taxes, being a contractor, or working for the man. You can email us info@mograph.com. Let us know what you think about the show. Questions, comments, concerns, queries, grievances, show topic ideas, artist suggestions. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and mograph.com, of course. Send us your suggestions. We want to know what you want to hear about, what you want to hear in your ear holes. And if it's noob, I'll reiterate this. If it's a noob question, you feel like, oh, I would never ask that question on the air. You know what? There's probably like a million other people with that question. So
Yeah.
feel free. If it's something maybe we talked about 2 years ago, maybe we should talk about it again. Maybe there's some topics that we have to hit up again. Just let us know what you want to hear. I know a lot of people have sent stuff in recently, and especially suggestions, and we've actually taken those suggestions to heart and brought some more people into the schedule that are going to be coming on shortly. Like I think next week we're going to be talking about architecture, things like that. So send us stuff, and it doesn't even have to be an email. It could be a tweet, it could be an Instagram message. Get all up in our DMs. It doesn't matter. We got a lot in the week wrap up today. We actually have, first of all, the course for Procreate is so close. My goal was to have it done last night as a soft launch. It did not happen. Too much other stuff going on. It pushed it. You ever have your schedule just full
It was
enough?
Halloween.
It was Halloween.
Dave had to go trick-or-treating.
No, I didn't do. I was actually working on it last night while trick-or-treaters were coming in, and it's mainly, one little meeting here pushes something, and another meeting here pushes something, and one email that you have to write for 30 minutes pushes something, and it's so close. It's like I need 2 or 3 more days, but I only have 2 or 3 days available over the next 2 weeks to work on it. So I'm really trying my best. We did a lot of quality control. We did a lot of edits and things at the last second that I feel are really going to increase. Like if you were a beta tester, there's a lot of quality of life improvements we made. Our beta testers, we take everything they say to heart, and we really try and do everything that we can to make it great. And I've been working really hard on a promo. Like,
it looks good.
It's a very, very difficult promo to put together. And so I've just been knocking that out. The rough draft is done. Just got to put the bow on it. So, and the thing is, a new Procreate came out today, and that's kind of like, oh God, like maybe that's a good sign. Maybe we need to check and see if anything's like majorly different. But
right,
so far it looks the same. It's just the fact that they added the 3D tools, and
I'm excited to use the 3D tools. I think that's gonna be cool.
I want to paint on a skateboard, like in
right?
the video. Do some graffiti, and that's it for Procreate. We've also got a new article out. We've got a lot of articles coming out, just like almost every week now. So this one is it's a satire with a serious message about plastics and waste, and check that out. That's going to be in the show notes, or you can just go to mograph.com/news to check out everything. Also, we wanted to talk about the fact that we've got a meetup coming up.
Yes, we do.
Why don't you give us the details on that?
Okay, let me go to the Eventbrite page because I know all the info there. So we're doing a meetup Saturday, December 4th at Brace Canyon Park in Burbank, California. So anyone in the area, or if you feel like coming and hanging out, go on to Eventbrite and search for a Mograph meetup. And you'll be able to find tickets there. It's $5. But that'll cover food as well. So food and drinks. We're not doing alcohol. There's no alcohol. We may do a beer meetup afterwards. Me and EJ were chatting about it, but for right now, it's just a meetup at the park. We're all gonna have some fun play some fun games like cornhole and hacky sack and stuff. So I expect you all to be there. And then we've got a food truck coming, so they'll be serving food. We'll be bringing in like soft drinks and waters and Gatorades and stuff like that. So should be a lot of fun. Last chance of the year to get to hang out with all of your fellow Mograph friends.
It's the last chance to write off the plane ticket too, if you want to go.
Absolutely,
you need to write off some money end of the year,
right?
Yeah.
So and then we'll have the link in the show notes and stuff like that. And a big shout out to our sponsors, Maxon. is graciously sponsoring it, as well as Otoy. We're super excited to have them on board. So come hang out with all of us. Give a big shout out to our sponsors on Twitter and such. And yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So
yeah, and look for all the info on our socials. That'll be out there. We'll be putting a link to it as well in the newsletter this week. So I know a couple people have asked like where they can find the info on that. So we will be putting out more information, and we'll have a link to the Eventbrite show notes as well. So just check out the things this week. You'll find it. And let's see, next on the list, just a couple odd random things. Windows 11 is out, and okay,
right.
It's like Windows 11 is out. I'm interested to hear if anybody has tried it.
Vista or die, baby. Vista or die.
Yeah, right. I am not upgrading. I'm assuming that everything on it is broken. That's there needs to be a law like Moore's law or Murphy's law.
Right. Call it Dave's law.
It's Dave's law. It's the assumption. It's kind of like Schrodinger's cat, assuming that the cat is both dead and alive. I am assuming that when anything comes out that is 100% broken and nothing works on it.
Yeah.
Until proven otherwise.
Right.
Safe.
Yeah. So if you're installing Windows 11, it's called Dave's assumption.
Dave's assumption.
Dave's assumption is that Cinema 4D doesn't work on it, and that Octane doesn't work on it, and that no NVIDIA driver works on it. Now, I'm probably wrong, but I have to find out for sure. Dave's assumption automatically assumes that until proven otherwise. So I'm asking other people to let us know how that's going for you if you've decided to go down that rat hole, and if it's worth updating or, hell no, not going near Windows 10 for at least 6. Well, Windows 11, right? Aren't we currently in 10?
Nah, Vista or die, baby.
Yeah. So let them work out the bugs. Let them figure it out, and we will be here back
I would
on
be
our old
safe
versions.
to even give it a year, honestly.
I'm on an old version of Windows. I'm on an old driver. I'm on old Octane. I'm on old Cinema 4D. I'm on old After Effects. I'm on Premiere 2019 because it works. 80% of the time.
I just moved over to R25. We picked up a project this week, and we decided that we're going to, for this new project, switch over to 25 and use the newest version of Octane and stuff like that. So, super exciting to get my hands dirty. I've had quite a few frustrations, but trying to figure out where everything is. I know, and that's the thing. I love the asset browser. I think that's super cool,
Yeah, why are people talking about getting the content browser back? I keep hearing, we want the content, but I'm like, well, what about
the asset browser? It's just called asset browser.
Right. Well, I don't understand. What's the problem?
Because the content browser used to be up on the upper right-hand corner or whatever. Now you got to go to Window Asset Browser, and then it brings it up on the left side, which I think is stupid, especially if they're talking about like minimizing the amount of like.
Can't you just move it?
Absolutely, but sometimes when you try and move stuff, it
you're using
it goes
it wrong.
all funky. Yeah, it's my fault, right? No, I'm just saying. If they're talking about minimizing the amount of clicks or screen distance and stuff like that, the asset browser should not be on the left. It should be on the right.
Yeah, but that's not open by default. That's up to you.
Yeah, but if you do Window Asset Browser, it's going to pop it up, and it's going to pop it up on the left, not on the right. So.
Well, either way, we downloaded it. We're making ourselves use it to get used to the new interface, and I'm sure a year from now we'll forget the old interface.
Right.
The
hardest part is switching. I have forgotten numerous times that I'm either in point mode or edge mode or face mode. The number of times that I have forgotten that I'm in that mode, because I'll find myself I'm working and then I do something, and what would normally be second nature or muscle memory to unclick or click, I find myself pausing, being I'm not sure what to do here. And then going on and doing something else and completely skipping that step, I don't know.
I do that all the time already. So I find that
In
I'm
R23.
always in face mode or point mode by accident. I've always done that, and then I go down and I try and change a coordinate, and I hit apply, and it doesn't change, and I'm like, what's going on?
I also don't like that the coordinates, the world coordinates, aren't there anymore unless you go into model mode. You know, I don't love that. I don't love that. I wish they were there at all times.
Those are all little things, though. Those could change.
Yeah.
You know, if Apple can revert back, anybody can, right?
Oh, that is true.
Right?
That is true. Yeah.
HDMI
Angie, have you
ports.
used R25?
I did, yeah. I just downloaded it last week actually, yeah, and I opened it and I was like, what is happening here? Yeah, I haven't had a lot of time to poke around in there, but yeah, I hear you. It's like you have to think a little bit extra for now. But yeah, it's like anything. Like everyone always complains when Facebook changes anything. It's like a week of using it and you're good. So I'm sure it'll be okay.
Absolutely. You get the muscle memory. It's even after using a Mac for like a decade, it only took me like a week to get used to Windows shortcut keys. So you know, our main thing was, okay, can we use 25 for this? Can we use
Octane,
this particular version of Octane, and does it work with render? In case, you know, which version is going to work with render? Because this is a big project. It's a long-term project. It's going to be going well into next year, probably past whenever the next version of Cinema comes out. So it's like getting our ducks in a row, trying it out, making sure all the pieces are working. It's like, okay, well, wait, what about X particles? Wait, what about Turbulence FD? Wait, what about... It's really not about Cinema more as it is like all of the plugins, right?
Yeah, totally.
So, yeah.
And I found a bug. In Cinema, and I've been able to recreate it multiple times.
Okay.
But then I got a response back from the bug department that said, no, it's a third-party plugin. I'm like, no, it's not. I promise it's not. So if you have extrusions, like multiple extrusions or whatever, and you want to put caps on them, select all those things, and you hit like load profile for like the presets for the preset caps. It'll crash it. It'll crash R25. Doesn't matter because of the third-party render.
Third party?
I don't know.
Did you have a third-party render engine open at the time?
I'm able to recreate it without anything open.
Okay.
I can literally go into Cinema, like do some text, hit C, so I get all the things. I can hit the caps, highlight all of them. You have to do them one at a time, otherwise it'll crash.
Because I was thinking like, okay, maybe
Rick, I'm looking at you. You got to change that.
Maybe you've got your Octane open, because you know, if you do a mass geometry change and your live viewer is open and running, you're gonna have a bad time.
Right. Yeah, but like all I'm doing is loading the presets. That's all it's doing.
Weird.
Yeah. The cap presets.
Well, last year when I updated to Big Sur because some of my other software wasn't working, and every time I would create anything, it would crash until it took like a month or two, and then it was fixed. But for a while, I just couldn't use it like at all.
Was that because of Big Sur?
I think so, yeah, and maybe just like my hardware is pretty old too, but yeah, it eventually got fixed, but for a while it was frustrating.
Yeah, usually this stuff gets ironed out, but again, that's why I wait all the time. So it'd be interesting to see. One of the problems that I've been having, and there is just no way for me to pinpoint this. I mean, I'm assuming it's because I'm going all out in Octane, just doing all the things, right? It's like I'm pushing my computer to the limit, so I shouldn't be surprised when something malfunctions. But what I'm having problems with, and I'd be interested again to hear if anybody else is having this issue, is my NVIDIA drivers are just crashing.
Weird.
They're just.
Are you on the newest NVIDIA drivers, or are you?
Are you really asking me that?
Okay. I mean, I always assume you're not on the newest stuff. But me, I update all the time. You know.
Actually, I probably am up to date on drivers, but I'll have to double check and see. I stay pretty updated on these drivers because you have to have them a lot of time to upgrade Octane. But I am noticing in my system log, in my event log, that it is indeed the drivers that are crashing per every program. So like, here's the scenario. And don't like get on to me for this, but sometimes I'll have After Effects open at the same time as Cinema 4D. or Photoshop or whatever it is. And I've got maybe Discord is running or something too. And I mean, that's what you do on your computer. You got multiple apps open. And so I'll be running Octane. I'll be working in an Octane scene, and I'll do something heavy, like super heavy, right? You know, like turning on all the caps on all my extrudes. And I will hit that button and everything will go black. My computer doesn't crash, but everything on every screen goes black. Everything cuts out. If I'm streaming anything with a camera to Discord or something, it's gone. Nobody can hear me even through my webcam. But then the thing resets, the driver resets, and then after that, Cinema crashes. It's a white screen. It crashes. After Effects doesn't respond anymore. It crashes. I have to force quit it. Discord doesn't work. Every program has to be reset because the driver has been reset, but it won't reactivate until you open the program.
Right.
So it's so hard to even pinpoint what that is.
See, that's why I like having multiple computers, like at my desk at once. Like I've got one main machine where I'll do like cinema, I'll do After Effects, like I do the podcast, but like for everything else, for like Skype or Discord or email or anything like that, I've got it all on another computer. And then I've got a whole, like I've got clients that have their Slack channels as well, and I'll put that on my other computer so that I've got like one Slack channel up here, and then I've got our Slack channel up here, so that I can do, it's basically like they're all for specific jobs, and like I don't like to mix and match. I don't like to have Discord open on my main machine. I like having Discord open on my email machine. Even though my email machine is still very powerful and could be used as my main machine.
Yeah, I just wish that there was a system that would protect against that, because I think what's going on. I think it's a memory leak or some sort of issue like that. I wish it was just something that said, hey, something's going on here. I'm gonna protect this from everything crashing. And Pedro says, you can install the NVIDIA GeForce Experience, lets you know when there's an update. I have it installed. But I don't get a lot of the notifications. I'm not a big notification person.
I have a driver update available right now. I just looked.
Let's do it live on the show. Let's see what happens.
Let's do it. Let's see how that goes.
It is kind of comforting to hear you say that, though, because like that same thing happens to me where everything goes black, and I was like, does my computer just suck? Like,
And you're on a Mac, right? So
well, I use both. So I have like a Windows machine that I built as well that I use for cinema and everything. But like once in a while, like again, I don't know what the reason is either that it happens. But once in a while.
It just freaks out. I mean, we are pushing these things to the limits. Let's be honest.
That's true.
We're putting, it's like, oh, I've got a 10 million polygon scene. I'm running stuff over the network, with 6 graphics cards running over the network and sorting information, and I'm running 50 programs at once. I don't understand what's going wrong.
I
I
just want to be able to run cinema and After Effects at the same time. It would be very convenient.
When you're running Octane and you're running After Effects, I think that's the big thing. Like,
that could
Octane
be
is very resource heavy, understandably.
It's true.
And After Effects just sucks. So I mean,
okay,
that's
funny.
That's all I got to say about that. Speaking of which, the next thing on my list is these. There are some Adobe updates, and while I haven't updated, I know a lot of other people have, and I'm interested in hearing about the updates at least. I'll try them eventually.
With cinema, I normally like get them installed. Even if I don't open them. With Adobe, man, it's so hit or miss. Like I don't know whether while these features sound awesome, like all the updated features and stuff, like the multi-thread rendering and stuff, and then also Billy was talking to us in Discord earlier today about like being able to see which like pre-comps are going to be the most labor intensive and stuff. That's super cool.
Yeah.
I think that's super rad. So you'll be able to work as efficiently as possible. As much as I love the idea of all that, it's like downloading more stuff. I'm cool sticking with 2020 right now, you know, because it's stable for me. And if you get After Effects not working stable for you, you're gonna have a bad time.
I do
know?
hear very good things about the new After Effects. Everybody, like Billy was giving it praise. Jeff here is saying it's a game changer. You've got all your layers say how long they take. That's really good to know, because if something's taking 30 seconds for one effect, you're like, okay, maybe I shouldn't use that.
Yeah.
You know, that's good. And then there's some other After Effects. There's some other Adobe things that came out. Photoshop has
that
has some great
Photoshop
updates.
like changing the landscape to be a different season.
Yeah.
Like the thing that they were
I
showing
gotta
off, that's
try that.
insane. That's absolutely insane. I'm telling you, Photoshop is going to be like point and click here pretty soon.
I'm
you know?
fine with doing the Photoshop update.
Yeah,
that to
yeah.
me, that's fine. It's, I don't know. After Effects, I'll probably try. What version? Let's see what version of everything I'm on. After Effects, I'm on 2020. We're talking about that this morning in the Discord too. Like, yeah. See, I'm on Photoshop 2019. I've got 2019 and 2020 of Illustrator installed. I don't know why. I've got After Effects 2020, and I've been running Premiere 2019 for the longest time, but I've also been flip-flopping between that and the beta, which I like the beta of Premiere. But yeah, I think I'm going to try. You can leave the old ones on. That's the thing. You can leave the old ones on and give them a try. It's really like if you had to, for example, if you have to update a driver to install a new version of something,
right?
Then you're going down a potential rabbit hole of problems.
Yeah.
You know, you do the driver and it's like, okay, I want to go back to the old version of After Effects or Octane. It's like, okay, but you're going to have to like roll back your driver. That's when it's like you really have to make a decision what you want to do.
Everyone's speaking so positively. I'm gonna have to download them. Yeah,
that's good. I like that. No, Photoshop. I mean, Photoshop is Photoshop.
Yeah,
you can update Photoshop. That's not a big deal.
Yeah.
The thing that I never understood about After Effects is like you do a RAM preview, right? It's full green bar.
Yeah.
You hit play. It doesn't play real time.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
I only have that problem on Windows, honestly.
Really?
Really?
Macs, it seems to buffer it all fine. Yeah, I don't know why. But I hear you.
See, I was complaining about it earlier, but I was on a Mac. Yeah.
Interesting.
What is AE's speculative preview?
Is that is it? I don't know. Speculative? What is speculative preview?
What does that mean? Is it
I don't know.
AI predicting the future? Predict what you want to do?
Speculative.
I'm looking it up.
I know, me too. What is it? Speculative
preview. Is it a lot cooler than it really is? Let's see.
I know, right? Is that the?
Oh,
thing?
that's the beginning to render in the background. Now this is.
Right.
Didn't that already exist?
That should have. No, I don't think it did. It should have already existed. You know.
I thought there was a thing where you would see the little bar loading for a bit if you're just sitting there not doing anything. No. Am I crazy? Didn't that exist before?
Yes. That didn't. No.
That didn't exist before.
It was always where. So at one point, I think it was like, I don't know, 2017 or something. They updated it to where, you know, if you put like an effect on like something, and then you went through and did the preview. So you had full green, and then you're like, no, I don't like that. If you added or deleted something, it would go back to the previous render so that you wouldn't have to redo that. That's the only sort of like background stuff that they've done before.
I swore it was pre-rendering before. I swore that was a thing.
No, you may be thinking about like, what is it? Final Cut Pro or something like that. You know?
No, I'm thinking of the RAM preview bar would scroll across and it would. Am I crazy?
Maybe.
I
think you're crazy.
Mandela effect.
I have
Yeah.
seen it where it looks like the green is, it looks like it's kind of populating, but I
Yeah.
don't think it's actually rendering. Like maybe if you have some frames cached, it's like, oh, hey, you have this here, but I don't,
Yeah.
I don't think it was anyway.
I'm a little concerned about it because my thought on anything doing that
How
is,
much
okay,
space is it gonna take up?
right? Is it
Yeah.
just filling my cache to the brim? Is it screwing
Right.
up my RAM? And then
I mean,
the other
y-
problem is that when you know the frame problems you have, where you go back to a frame and it's like you change something, but it's pre-rendered, or
Yes.
it's already cached, and it
Yes.
just will not go back, and you got to quit. Even the clearing the cache doesn't fix it.
yeah.
I know, yeah. Like if you have a plugin that you have to like click to license again, you get like the X,
Yeah,
and even if you render it, like the X is there. I'm like, what? Just like for one
Yeah.
frame.
and it's
Yeah.
because it was like cached, and then you go back. I'll go back and I'll reset, and then I'll render an entire piece, and then I'll go back through the whole render, and the thing has just random messed up frames in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
just
Can confirm.
clear it out. Like there needs to be clear the cache before you render. And I'm pretty sure in the secret menu there used to be something like that.
There was, yes. Yep.
Yeah.
There was.
Yeah.
Is there still a secret menu?
There is, I believe. I don't know if that's in there.
I forget
It's
now
like-
what to hold. What you
It's like
hold.
Command Shift Control. All
Just
the buttons. Yes.
Mash the keyboard. Yeah.
You know,
Um,
I was just gonna say something. Now I forgot. I don't remember. All right, must not have been important. Dang.
Let's see. I'm looking at the chat here. Yeah. Pedro brought up the new MacBook Pro. He was asking about Octane bench scores. I think people were asking about Octane bench on that. Where did I see that? Our Halo chat?
I don't think. I don't know if there is an Octane bench for
think
Mac
there is.
at the moment.
I'm pretty sure our
is
Halo chat
what I- if
concluded
I-
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if I understand correctly. I really like the look of the new MacBook Pro.
They're thicker.
If I had, yeah,
Interesting.
he's a chunky boy.
Yeah.
You know, if I had an extra $5,000 and I needed a laptop, sure, I'd definitely consider getting a Mac.
Yeah.
But like, I don't really need it. I don't need it.
The touch bar is okay, but it's not like everybody.
They got rid of the touch bar.
I know everybody is so
Oh.
happy about that,
Mhm.
and I don't really understand. Like, I get it, but I don't get it. Like, I'm not pissed off about the touch bar.
Right?
I could
You're not
go either
mad that
way.
it's gone.
But if it's the touch bar is gone, it's not. I'm not gonna be like, oh, finally. I just
I
don't
heard they
know.
broke a lot. That's what I heard. People didn't like
The
about
touch bar did.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
And for a while, they didn't have a physical escape key, right? Is that true?
Oh, really?
Or
Really?
something like that. There wasn't an escape key. I can't remember. There is now. Maybe I'm
Huh.
wrong. The new laptop is thicker, which hell froze over on that because Apple loves to say it's 0.001 millimeters thinner. That
Right.
means it's worth $1,000 more dollars.
Right.
And they went thicker. They put in HDMI and I believe USB back in, so you don't have to have 50 dongles hanging off of it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm glad they
US
added the HDMI. I think that was a
Yeah.
really smart move. You know,
Very much so.
Yep.
the 64 gig unified VRAM, that's killer right
that
there.
too.
Yeah.
Like I can't. I mean, they were showing off Octane stuff in the whatchamacallit, the announcement and stuff like that, and it's like talking about how 3090s. I mean, I've got two 3090s NV linked. I can't use it. I couldn't do something that if it was 60 gigs of VRAM.
Mhm.
I can on a laptop. That's pretty cool.
Just
Yeah.
bring NVIDIA
So-
back, please. Bring NVIDIA back so we can just.
They won't. They won't.
Hmm.
Won't happen.
Hmm.
It's okay.
Alright.
It's fine.
Sticking with Windows, I guess. Whatever. Anything else? Yeah.
My biggest issue between the two is the price tag.
Yeah.
Well,
Because like, why would I pay $5,000 or $6,000 for a laptop when I could make a super beefy machine?
with
for-
two 3090s in it,
Yeah,
For
for
the
a
same
fraction
price.
of that price.
a large fraction.
It's always
of that
been
price.
it's always been the price with me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Are you able to get your hands on those now? I know they were kind of in high
the Mac
demand.
the 3090s or the MacBook Pros?
The 3090s, yeah.
No, we've been.
Yeah.
I bet.
been
Well, we
trying.
have 10 of them. Do we have 10? Yeah, 10
10.
of them right now across me and Dave's office. And then I've got two 2070 Supers and a 2080. But we're trying to get two more 3090s to even out my workstation and Dave's workstation, right?
No,
And
my
we've been trying.
workstation's good.
Yeah, I need two
I don't
more.
have
I need
room
two
for
3090s.
any more. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I really don't need it at the moment, because most of the time, especially for this new project that we're doing, I'm just going to send everything to render, and, but yeah, I mean, it's nice to have, but you just can't get a hold of them. You can't get a hold of them. I don't know. I don't know. I get notifications at least once a week or once every couple weeks where it's like, hey, there's a new one out, or being released or whatever. It's like, I try and get it on Best Buy. Nope. Too late.
Yeah, that's what I hear, sadly.
We've been we haven't bought any for over retail. It's all been retail, and we just
it's all been
playing
retail.
the slow game all year. Whenever we can get our hands on one, we get one.
Yeah.
And it worked really well for a while. But I mean, I'm super happy. We did a lot of work to pay for them, and now they're here and they're installed, and they make life so much better. Trying to even just, I mean, the great part about being able to use those cards with Octane in that manner is that you just click, oh, I want these cards from this other computer while I'm in Cinema 4D, and you're just working on that, and it's so fast. It's so easy to kick out low sample renders when you're working on a project in like minutes. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure everybody's like, oh, that's expensive, but yeah, I mean, they were paid for by other projects, and now they're making other projects go faster. It's a cost of doing business, and it's worth it. I think it's weird because people are like, oh, you're spending all that money on those cards, and it's like, yeah, that's like a good thing. That's
but we can't stick with 980 Ti's the rest of our lives,
right?
Like I went from 980 Ti's, like 4 of them, to 3090s. I feel like I waited long enough to get new cards.
Definitely. I don't know. I feel like our industry, like, it's a fairly low overhead. Like, I mean, you spend some money, you get some good equipment, but you can use it for a long time, and you can make quite a bit of money using it. So it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's one of the most expensive things, honestly, that we have to buy. Like, it's more expensive than the computer half of the time. But when I hear people debating about, I just got the client project, should I buy a new graphics card? And it's like, well, if you got the money for it and it's going to help you, of course you need to do that. Like, I hear people debating if they should go from like a 1080 to something else. And I'm like, absolutely. Like, you're going to be so happy with that. Like, I know it's a large
you'd be
investment.
happy with the newer, especially with the 10 series. The 20 series, I don't think so, not so much. I mean, you can if you want.
You get RTX at least, though.
Yeah, RTX is game changer.
But
I don't know.
It's definitely worth it. Like, if this is what you're doing every single day, this is your day to day. I understand that it's expensive, but like, how expensive is it compared to like the amount of money you're making on a project, right? Like, like one project is going to pay for one card.
Yeah,
that's and yeah, if you're trying to make ends meet, I understand it's a lot of money, but think about how you can use that as an investment to make things go faster, do more, and double the projects, right? Like,
plus there's you've got options like render. I think render is amazing. I'm so excited to see what they've got in the future. Like there's tons of stuff coming out of the pipeline, and I can't wait until it all gets here.
And that's the thing, like, you don't need a ton of 3090s to do your work either. So like, if you just want to get one 3090, or maybe buy one of those pre-built computers that has a 3090 in it, that's sometimes a good deal. If you don't like to do the actual work, if you don't want to get the card and install it yourself, that's a good option. If you want to get a laptop that has a 30 series in it, it's gonna be really hot, but it works. And, and then send your stuff to render. That's a great workflow too. So it's like you said, Angie, it's like, it is very low overhead compared to anything else. If somebody wanted to start some sort of manufacturing business, they've got to have a warehouse, they've got to have electricity, they've got to have what else? The water, and they've got permits they got to pull, and you've got to there's all of this stuff. And if you're a designer working out of your house and your only expense is the computer, like,
yeah, and the
come on now.
software.
And the software, and the
Software's
software on the
expensive.
computer, very low overhead
Yeah.
to get started in this. So the hardest part is starting, right? Chicken and egg scenario. I can't do these renders without the card, and I can't buy the card until I get the work, and that's understandable. But
Right.
it definitely snowballs
Mm-hmm.
once it gets going. Let's see what else we got in the chat here. There was not an escape key for a while. Okay, I was
Okay.
correct on that. Nate says, I just recently had an M1 MacBook Pro, and I thought it was super slow for video editing and motion graphics. Got my company to buy a new iMac spec to my old Mac Pro. Pedro says, still stuck with my 1080 Ti, volumetric tiers. Let's see. Matt says,
My wife just ordered an iMac, and we're gonna see. It's one of the newer ones, the super thin ones, that's colored and stuff like that. And so I'm excited to see how that works out. But I think it's still, 8 gig VRAM or whatever.
let's see. Play using our team, so Blender or Unity, it's limited to 1 GPU, so it makes sense to upgrade if you can. Oh, Octane. Oh, okay. And then Francisco, render is a lifesaver, $30 to $50 to get a render back in an hour. That would take my 3090 12 to 14 hours and lock me out. Absolutely.
That's the biggest thing. That's the number one thing that I really liked about it. It's like, on this project we were doing earlier this year, I was having Nick and I were both render wrangling, where it's like, okay, we'd finish up a project and then we need it to render. And instead of me just setting my computers to go, because we needed as much, editing time and,
desktop time.
Desktop time as possible, I'd send stuff to render and he'd be watching it and I'd be watching it and we'd be downloading, he'd be downloading while I'd be working. It's almost like having a third person there, to help you out doing all this stuff, which is great.
A third person there with many, many graphics cards.
Right.
If you made a mistake, do they help you out? Like if you're like, oh no, that's the wrong camera. Is it
no,
like
no, you gotta update it. No, sorry.
That's on you.
You better be good to go.
That's on you.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. But hey, it's so cheap. You can afford to. At these
Right.
prices, you can't afford not to render twice.
You can't afford not to.
For sure. I'm sure you'd only make the mistake one time.
Right.
I purposely make mistakes just so I can render it again.
Nice.
Just so I can give them my money.
I'm just
Real
having
quickly.
so much fun.
That's funny.
A couple other things. Number one question.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody think about this a bit now.
Oh boy.
Should we start opening up a Mograph Discord?
So interesting thing. We actually have a Mograph Discord.
Yes, we do.
We just don't use it.
Right.
And we have a Camp Mograph Discord that just like, Camp Mograph alum can go to. And we find ourselves hanging out in there on like the video chat all the time. Yeah.
And it's great, but there's certain people that we can't invite because it's camp. It's just
Right.
supposed to be for just campers. Which I understand.
So we're thinking of moving over to Discord from Slack. Y'all let us know what you think, because
And it might be a long transition time, but what we would do is we would get Ross or somebody to help us get this running, and get his expertise in Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Set it up with the same channels, right, and do all that. But it's gonna save everything. It's gonna archive everything.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I
chat,
like
we can
about
hang.
Discord is being able to go back and look at other stuff without actually having to pay for Slack.
So it's not like we're gonna shut the Slack down or anything.
No.
It would just be like possibly a transition or something. I don't know. I just wanted to get people's opinions on that, because there are some features in Slack that they're just never gonna add for free.
Yeah.
Pedro says Slack. Interesting. Interesting. Huh.
I'm assuming VJ is saying yes for Discord.
For Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we might just open it and start trickling some people in and just see what happens. Just try it out. and hang
Yep.
on things. The other thing is you had a note about updating GSG Plus.
Oh yeah, so that was one of the things with 25 when I was updating all my stuff. I did notice that I ran into an issue where I had downloaded all this stuff for 23, and I had all the GSG stuff. Well, when I linked my 25 to the location of where all my GSG stuff is, it didn't bring in like Everyday Material Pack or the one of the Modern Collection Pack. And I was like, oh no, am I gonna have to delete this and download the entire thing again? That sucks, blah blah blah. But apparently in your hub, if you just go to help and then like check for updated materials or something like that, it'll take a second to download some stuff, but then boom, worked right away, which was great. It was very, very cool. So I have officially re-upped my my subscription to GSG Plus. I cannot give it any greater, like it's part of my everyday tools.
Yeah.
Like
I
it's
need
one
to
that I
move-
just can't live without now because of the amount of materials and like the quality of the materials and everything. They just are so good.
Yeah.
It's one of my must-haves now, especially getting away from Polygon. Like I wanted to get away from Polygon because I'm not a huge fan of, you know, his
Andrew
politics, Andrew
Right.
Price,
Yeah.
and like his whatever. And so I haven't even looked back ever since I picked up Plus. So big shout out to GSG. Really happy about that.
And the only thing I would say is just make sure you put it on a drive where you're going to have room. That's my only
Absolutely.
problem is I didn't think about the fact that this was going to be a really large install.
It is,
and
yeah.
of course it is. You got all these
It's probably like
big textures, of course.
30 gigs or something like that. I
Yeah.
think it is. You know, it's still pretty big.
Yeah.
I've got. I've got my software on an M1 drive, and then I've got my cache files, you know, on a second M1 drive, and then I've got another drive that has all of my like auto saves and whatchamacallit, and Dropbox and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, I've got
So
a dedicated
I keep them all
Dropbox
separately.
drive, dedicated M1 cache drive, which I always end up throwing extra stuff from my C drive on because
Right.
you know, so I got to go through that. But yeah, on my main drive, I try to only keep software and installs on. So it's a good way to do it, I think. You know.
Yep.
Let's see. That's it for the week wrap up. That was a long week wrap up.
Yeah, it was. It was.
But,
Got a lot going on.
A couple quick things for Ravcock. What's your flavor?
What's your flavor?
The first thing is Jules posted that Octane 2021 Stable is out now. Officially.
Is it official?
Officially, yep.
Okay. I don't think
So-
render is updated to that yet, right?
I am unsure of that.
I can check right
I am
now.
very confused with numbers on everything. I couldn't tell you. These days, it's like, I don't even know how people number anything anymore. What version
Honestly,
of After Effects do you
I
have?
can't tell you whether
21.54321.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't tell you whether it was actually updated for everyone because I'm on the 2021 beta on render. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's very hard to keep track of what's and like Octane, for example. That is something that very often I will try the beta of, because if a beta has been out for a while, it's pretty freaking stable at that point. The betas go on for quite a while, so sometimes I'm like, is that not already out? I'm like, oh, I just been on the beta for 2 years, you know, or a year. Yeah,
That's funny. Yeah, so the C4D version isn't officially out yet. You know, you can download it from the forum, but the stable version isn't released.
Oh, the
for download
C4D
yet.
version.
Yeah, the C4D version is not out yet.
Okay.
But
I'm
yeah.
sure Ahmet will have that in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, they're already on 2021.1 R3 or something. And I think it was a little while between R2 and R3 updates, so there's probably not that many bugs. I don't know.
Oh, After Effects is changing to just the year. That's good.
Oh, good. But are they updating it twice a year like they have done?
I don't know. Here's my beef, and I talked about this on the show, but again, the way that they number things, when I downloaded the new Blackmagic update for the 6K, it's like you need to be on Premiere version 18.51362. And I'm like, I'm on 361. they're like, no, you need to be on 3.6.2. But I'm like, but I'm updated to the most recent version of Premiere. How am I not on that? Turns out you have to use the beta.
Oh, that's dumb.
Yeah. That's the beta is
dumb.
the 0.2 whatever it is. And I'm just using these numbers randomly because I have no idea what they are. But yeah. The other thing I was going to say too is that you got the 2021 stuff in Octane. You got the new stuff, which is going to be coming out, and we're going to be hearing a lot more about pretty soon, as far as Brigade and everything else, right? That's in the roadmap. That's something that Jules will be talking with us about on the show the Monday after Thanksgiving. So the last Monday of November. So what I was going to remind everybody is if you have questions for Jules, get them ready. You don't necessarily have to send them to us, but just remember that it's going to be that show. So if there's something you want to ask, you could email it if you want. But if you want to just show up and put it in the chat, we'll be trying to take questions and trying to cover everybody's questions. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of Brigade questions and things about real time and whatnot. It's the real time wars now, right?
I will tell you, speaking of real time, I tried out Redshift RT this past week or whatever. Like I just opened Redshift while I was installing all my 25 and stuff, and I opened up Redshift to make sure it was there, and then I saw the little RT button. I was like, ooh, let's try this, right? And so you click on it, and it's cool. It's great, like working in real time. Real time is very cool, but you do notice a significant difference in like shadow quality and stuff like that.
Of course,
in real time versus versus the full version.
It's understandable. It's just
I didn't pick up a heavy scene or anything like that, so I'm no expert to talk about it. But I did notice with just a plane and a cube, my default plane and cube, I did notice like the ambient occlusion area, I mean, that's wasn't super great. Yeah, absolutely.
It's a way to work in real time, and the other thing I have on the list here is a new Ember Gen came out today.
Yeah, that's exciting.
And there are some really great updates to this, including the ability to bring in animated meshes.
Which is awesome.
Because if you had any colliders that were moving before, you couldn't do that. And then the other thing is the cameras. You can import cameras now. There's a bunch of other stuff, but there'll be a video in the show notes, or you can just go to their Twitter and check it out. They've got all these updates. It is kind of funny because it's like 0.5 point something update. Like
it's 0.7.5.
Again with the numbers.
Weird. I didn't think you could have multiple points in there, but whatever.
It's Ember Gen 0.7.5.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I just want it in Cinema 4D so that I can work in Cinema 4D all the time.
The user interface looks a lot prettier than when I first tried it, when it first was, attached to OTOY and stuff like that. So, like, I'm very excited to give it a try. Maybe I'll do it for this project.
Ooh.
Yeah,
all right.
Do that.
Angie, let's talk about you now.
Yeah.
That was a long intro. That was like an hour-long intro.
Extremely surprised when we realized that we hadn't had you on the show before.
Right?
Like, I was like, why haven't we had Angie on the show before?
I know. I've seen you so much, like, in person, but I don't know. Yeah, just busy.
I thought we had. That was the thing. I was like, have you really not been on? Like, what happened? So I guess let's start from the beginning. There's a lot of people who have met you at shows and things, and hanging out around the Maxon booth and whatnot, and especially when we're in Canada. So tell us a little bit more about yourself and how you got into this crazy world.
Yeah, good question. How I got into it, really, I took some film courses when I graduated. Actually, I guess it kind of goes back before that. In high school, we had like a communications technology class, and I think Adobe was like probably in its infancy then, but like my teachers didn't even really know how to use it. And I had a lot of really supportive teachers. Like, I wasn't that great in math, and English I was okay, but those teachers kind of let me take that class time and like explore, like at like Premiere and like
nice.
some of stuff like that. So they kind of like let me hone my skills there. And then I went to school for film. So I went to university. And that was mostly like theory, which was wonderful. But I ended up only doing 1 year of that because I wanted to do like technical stuff. So then I went to college, picked up some great skills. Like we used Maya, we used a lot of the Adobe suite and everything. And then I got a really great placement because my school like had an internship program at a company in Toronto that a lot of my classmates were, running and getting coffee for people at some bigger companies. And I was at a smaller company at the time. It doesn't exist anymore. It was called the Studio Upstairs. And I did a lot of work for like the Discovery Channel and the History Channel. And like as an intern, like getting to use After Effects and then like see my stuff on TV and like wasn't even getting paid yet, but I just felt like such a like rock star. Like,
yeah.
And some of my other like classmates were like, they didn't even get to touch the software. So yeah, so it kind of like that's kind of how I was like thrust into it. And I mean, my program was only about a year, so obviously most of what I learned was once I actually got the job. And yeah, did like show openings and in-show graphics, and yeah, that's kind of how I started.
So how did you? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, was your main focus After Effects while you were in school? You're talking about doing Maya as well, right?
Yeah, actually, we kind of did it was like kind of crash course and everything. So we did like compositing, we did some like news graphics in like Photoshop, and then would bring them into After Effects. And then we did quite a couple of weeks using Maya. So we had to do some like live action, like shoot some live action, and then use Maya and try to composite everything together. This is like student work, so it like wasn't great, obviously. But, it was really fun. And I didn't start using cinema until like a year or maybe a year and a half or 2 years into my like actual job, into my career. And I remember it being like just so much easier than Maya. Like it was like, I was like, oh, cool, you can create this like with no effort. But then at the same time, like it's just different. So yeah. Yeah. And I haven't really touched Maya since. So
understandably.
Yeah.
I had kind of a weird, my 3D journey was kind of weird for the same reason. It's like got into Mac stuff, and then it was like, Maya, what? So once you got into it, like at what point did you meet like Matthias? When did you start hanging out with Cinema 4D peeps?
Yeah, actually, so that was what, like 6 or 7 years ago, maybe. So I mean, I've been doing motion graphics for like 13 years, 15 years, maybe, like a really long time.
Nice. Yeah.
So I like halfway into my career, but they used to do the Cinema 4D road shows, and they didn't have them in Toronto. So I was living in Toronto at the time, and then I wanted to visit like Vancouver. I'd never seen it before, which is crazy because I live in Canada, but it's just so big. But yeah, flew out for that. It was like, I think tickets were even free at the time, maybe like $10. And went, and I remember Robin Haddow was presenting, and she was the first ever other woman that I had seen doing Mograph. Like I was the only one that I knew of until then. So yeah, I met her and had a lot of questions, and then like talked to Matthias, and I remember everyone was just super nice and super friendly, and like have no problem answering any of your questions. And then yeah, Matthias started chatting with him and about my work, and then he asked if I wanted to speak in Vegas, and I was like, oh yes, of course. So yeah, I got to meet a lot of people in the industry. It was great.
You've worked on a lot of like really big projects too. Like I saw your presentation for the 3D motion show a little while ago, where you were working on stuff for Sonic the Hedgehog. Was that it?
Yeah, I did Sonic. Yeah. So I work for a company called Scarab here in Vancouver, and there's so many shows and movies are shot here, like probably like half of the things produced. So yeah, we do like a lot of the CW shows, and we'll pick up like most of our stuff is the CW shows, so like Batwoman and The Flash, stuff like that. And then during we usually have like a hiatus time, and then during that time we'll usually pick up a film. So I think we
Cool.
did Predator as well. We didn't do one last year because it was kind of weird. But yeah, Sonic is the last like feature film that we did.
That's cool. That's neat. I like that. That like, you know, you jump over from a TV show. How's the workflow? Like, does it feel like, you know, oh, we're in TV mode now versus, oh, now we're in feature film mode, you know, or does it really feel the same?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, because we do mainly playback, and not a lot of people know what that is. It's basically you basically part of production, or like pre-production or production, and then once in a while we'll help out in post where we like make something and it has to be like composited. But mainly what we do is like shot through camera, so it'll be like on actual devices.
Okay.
So in terms of workflow, like for TV shows, it's such a quick turnaround. Like we have like 9 days from script to camera. And for films, we actually get a bit more time. So it's a little nicer. We'll have like a couple of weeks at least. So that is nice because we get to explore and learn a bit more. Whereas with TV, it's super fun, and like once in a while you'll get the odd project where you have a little more of like R&D time, but most of the time it's just like you kind of have to go to the old bag of tricks and do stuff quickly and good. So
Yeah.
What are you doing mostly then? Like, what is your main
like style?
I mean, like, are you mostly in after? Like, what is the percentage? You're in After Effects like a lot. I'm guessing just from work that I've seen of yours that you're into some heavy After Effects, right?
Yeah.
What would your percentage be with 3D opposed to 2D?
I mean, so we do like FUI mainly. So it'll be like we do have a lot of established interfaces because a lot of these shows, like, because they're ongoing. So you design like the UI like once, and then once in a while you'll update it and you change it a bit.
Almost
and
like
then
a
we have
style guide, right? Like it's kind of like
yeah, definitely. And then you can reuse pieces so that it, like, again, we have like sometimes we have to turn out in like a day or half a day. So so yeah, a lot of After Effects, but anything that's like a hero piece that, like, you know, if there's like a satellite that's shooting laser beams or something, then that will be in 3D.
I would hope.
Yeah. I mean, we do have some tricks that make things look like they're 3D when they're not. But yeah, so I would say the percentage is probably like 20% 3D and like 80% like After Effects. We try to make our workflows and procedures like as seamless as possible because you're going to have to hand your thing off to someone else tomorrow. So we do, like, we'll do a lot of like prepping things in cinema, and then usually like there's a great thing, I forget the name of it, but you can export an animated OBJ sequence and bring that into Element 3D, and that's a lifesaver sometimes because like
that's cool. I didn't realize you could do that.
Yeah, I think I found it by fluke, but it's yeah, it's been pretty great because you can you know, animate stuff in cinema and then bring it in, and then you still have like the camera integration in After Effects and everything. But yeah, and then once in a while we'll actually kick our renders out of cinema, but they're not super heavy. Usually it's like wireframey or diagrammatic, so it's not like
is it a lot of HUD, FUD stuff?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much all of it. Yeah.
Nice.
Man, I'm looking at your Instagram right now. You've got the photo of us all at Mograph. This is great. Oh my gosh, I can't make it any bigger. I'd try and enlarge it, but I think is that you right? It's so blurry.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
that's
the
you
tall
right
person.
there, next to old beardy fat Dave right there.
Beardy fat Dave.
Look, I'm literally wearing the same shirt that I'm wearing right now, and it's twice the size on me now. So
that's hilarious.
Got that going for me, which is nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Look at that. Oh,
I
man,
see your runs and everything. I like them.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We're on Strava together. You know.
We are.
Uh,
I've been slacking on there.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I miss all of these people. All of
I
these
know.
people. Oh man.
It was a bit heartbreaking because I was supposed to go to Vegas in April of 2020, which I'm sure you were as well.
Yeah.
And like had my presentation prepped and I was so excited. And then it was like,
Nope.
nope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah.
It's been so long since Vegas too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm ready to get. Gosh, all right.
I know.
Hey, come to the Mograph meetup in Burbank on December 4th.
Matt is ready to travel.
From
Yeah.
June to 6.
The border's just open. We can drive to the States
Did it?
now.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. We could
Ooh.
fly,
Oh.
but I think as of like, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, now I can actually drive to the States.
That's cool.
It's
How long
crazy.
is it a drive? How
Come on
long is the
down.
drive to Burbank?
Oh, it's probably like a day.
Yeah, that's a little ways.
Yeah.
Gotta get through all of California.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Right.
it's a big state. What? Okay, so what projects, I guess, can you say you've worked on? Like, name drop
Yeah.
for us a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, in the last 2 years, like I said, it's been a lot of CW shows. So like Batwoman, we just started Superman and Lois. Another Life, which just came out. We did that. It took a while to like get to air, like get on to Netflix, but it some really cool playback in that we made a couple of years ago. Yeah, we do other like real world stuff as well. Like there's a show called Yellow Jackets that's coming out on the 15th, and
I've heard
it's
of
not.
that.
I
What is
think the
that?
show's going to be really good. It has like Juliette Lewis in it, and Christina Ricci is in it.
Oh, yes. That's where I heard about that. Last night I saw the trailer for that. That looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that one we just did just some simple stuff like some phones and like real worldy stuff. But it's fun too. It's like to create some more like real world apps instead of like crazy FUI stuff. So
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
are you? You may have said this already. Are you working from home mostly, or are you going to the office?
No, yeah, we've been fully back in the office since last October. So
Oh,
we
wow.
did, yeah. And we are hiring new people. So like we were a little, we got a lot of shows and stuff come in and didn't have
Good.
staff up. Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
there's just like a shortage of people in general
Mhm.
in this town. So yeah, it's been nice like meeting some new people and working with some new people in the office. It's great.
Yeah, I feel like our industry went through a little bit of a slump for a minute, but gosh, it's almost like there's just more content that needs to be made now because
Yeah.
of COVID, and there's more like I don't know.
Yeah.
There's just all of this stuff.
I think more companies got comfortable with the idea of people working remotely. You know,
Mhm, yeah,
so there's
definitely.
much more remote work available, as well as companies got used to using motion graphics and 3D and stuff instead of actually like shooting things. So
Yeah.
it's like they like the idea of all of these things, and it's only helped our industry since.
And it's only
Definitely.
going to get like bigger. Like it's only going to expand.
Mhm.
You know.
Mhm.
And virtual
Yeah.
production stuff as well is like taken off. I don't
that
know if
too.
you've
Yeah.
Yeah.
looked into that at all.
Have you worked in
Yeah.
any of that at all, or?
I haven't a little bit like dabbled a bit in Unreal, but I haven't done anything like for an actual show.
Yeah.
But some of the people that I work with are getting into that. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot you can do with it for sure. Yeah.
When you're designing some of the okay, first off, how did you get into the HUD FUI stuff? Because for me, that is like that's
It's
a
its own
whole
thing.
it feels
an
like
art
it's its
form.
own thing. It
Yeah.
is a total art form, and you can do it well or you can do it really shitty. And I don't do it great. You know, I just steal elements from
Other things,
pre-made
yeah.
assets and already put them in there. Like how did you get into it and such?
Yeah, great question. So, I mean, I did a couple of like freelance projects that were kind of like UI based, like kind of visualizations for apps, I guess. So, it's, like an accounting software that I did one thing for where you just had to create kind of like a more basic interface that looks pretty in advertisements. and a couple of those types of jobs. And then I applied at Scarab, and that's basically all that they do. So I guess my little videos that I had done were enough to get me the job, which is great. But to be honest, like a lot of it was, I just look at other people's work, kind of thought about some projects that I would want. So one project I went through, just as like a training exercise for myself, was like, if I had an HUD, because I ride motorcycles all the time, like what
cool
would,
yeah
what would I want?
We got to talk about that.
That's a good idea. Yeah. I like
Yeah.
that. I like that. Yeah.
And I know some helmets do exist with that, so it'd be nice for it to like develop a bit more. But yeah, just that. But most of it is I kind of like learned, like once I got this job, is just like, you have to think a lot. You're like, how is this going to function? And you kind of have to like UI, UX design something that's not even real, and make it so that it's functional, so that like the actors can interact with it and it looks believable. So yeah,
do you have any set assets that you're able to pull from, or like a library that you've created yourself, or you're like, okay, I need this and this and this, or are you creating a lot of the stuff from scratch?
It depends what it is. So if it's like, for the Flash, they have certain sets that they use all the time. So it's like, in the Cortex, there's a satellite or something that's shooting, and they need to eliminate it. So we'll just take the interface that already exists for that set, and then a lot of them we've built into these modular pieces so that you can just like take certain aspects and kind of put them in. So again, you don't have to focus so much on like those parts of the UI. It's more like the hero,
the individual. Yeah. Okay, I get that. That's cool.
And yeah, you use the similar look, but for those pieces, it's kind of like carte blanche. We can like make it look and function how we want. So yeah.
And HUD as opposed to FUI. That's heads up display and.
Yes.
Fictional user interface. I've also heard
futuristic fantasy. User interface.
It's basically creating this fantasy world, and it's funny how it will influence real culture. Like a lot of companies will come to these people who are making the fictional designs and say, "Hey, you kind of got this down. Why don't you make a real interface for us?"
Yeah, I love the idea. I love the idea that you said, like that's kind of like one of those eye-opening comments where you say, you're riding motorcycles and you're thinking how you would like it to actually work physically, you know? That's rad. I like that.
Yeah, it's definitely fun. Like I like thinking about things in a like procedural way like that, and like the things that could go wrong. I don't know. For me, that's like I love the like problem-solving aspect of it. So it's great. Yeah,
there's a certain mind that on top of the digital artistic mind that really enjoys this type of thing, right? Like some people might not enjoy, but there's a certain type of person I think that enjoys really planning, like where would this really be in real life? Where would this really be? And I don't know if that's like a producer mindset, like like what is there's a mindset there. I almost wonder if you have to be a little OCD to do HUD.
I think so. I think so. Yeah, especially with the level of like I said, like we're always passing our files off in the office to somebody else. Like you have to keep your stuff so clean as well. Like it's very OCD. And actually, I think like conceptualization and creativity, like that took me much longer to learn. Like I think a lot of people get into this industry because they're like they have all these creative and crazy ideas that are outside of the box, and like I had a little bit, but it took me to like I had to foster that more. Like the like technical and organization part, I think I'm definitely strong at, or have always been strong at. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, definitely different types of people for sure.
What are some of the like? Are there some go-to must-have like plugins, to help you get the look and the feel of stuff? Like what are some that you use specifically?
Yeah, I mean, we have like I said, we use Element a lot because that's super helpful in 3D space. I forget the names of things all the time, but Saber is really great too. That one's free. So like we do a lot of like portals and stuff like that. quick. Lots of lens flares.
Yeah.
What else? I know this is an answer maybe for later, but there's like we use a lot of scripts too that kind of like speed stuff up. And there's one that I love. It's called Layer Repeater. Super simple, but it's like if you need some like floor plan or diagrammatic looking thing, you can just like duplicate layers in 3D space and like animate them.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's any like absolute go-tos, but yeah, things that speed up the workflow for sure are helpful.
Yeah.
Cool.
Have you ever worked with Robin directly on anything?
Not directly.
No.
No, but she did work at Scarab previous to me. So
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I remember her showing off some stuff that she did with Flash, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I've definitely touched her files, but not directly.
Yeah, and she did. We just came out with that article a couple of weeks ago. She did a bunch of stuff on WandaVision.
WandaVision.
Amazing.
And you see like some of this is heads up display, right?
Yeah.
But like some of it's on a screen, so I guess you wouldn't technically call that a heads up display. But just so much. Like you look at this stuff, and I've heard her talk about this before as well. There's like a reason for all of these little things. You see these little things, and there's like a meaning behind the design. Like, what is this zone A, zone B thing here? Like, there was some thought actually put into some of this stuff having to do with the story, or a lot of times what they're touching. So my question is, do you often have to design around what people are doing?
Very often.
You know, it's like, oh, that would work really well, except they touch the right corner and the right corner doesn't have anything on it. Like, how do you deal with that?
So, well, like I said, like playback is like we do it before, and then we like basically print. We publish these mini apps. So we have to think, like we read the script, and then you think about, oh, this is the state that it's going to be in. This is what the actor is going to do, and then this is the state it's going to be in after. So you're kind of like directing what the actor is doing. So, for example, it'll be like a map search. So we'll have like a loop of a map search, and then they're like, okay, zoom into whatever, this part of the city. And then they like touch the screen and then it zooms in. But those are all chunks that we have like rendered out. And it looks like they're doing it, because like if they touch the screen, it actually activates the next thing to happen.
Interesting.
But yeah.
So a lot of the, sorry to interrupt, but
okay.
a lot of the are the screens that you're making for actual live action, like, or are they comped in afterwards?
Yeah, like 90% of the time we do like it's like basically a prop. So
wow.
Yeah. So it's actually interactive.
That's so cool.
It's way cheaper, obviously. Like sometimes they'll have to comp stuff in after if it just it didn't work for a story point or something, and we'll help with that. But yeah, most of it is playback. So like,
do you know how they deal with like the too much like light leaking or glow or something like that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So we have people on set that do all of that. So they we make the stuff, and then somebody, they're called an operator on set, will be behind the scenes like queuing it up and like, you know, changing the brightness. If it's shooting too blue, they like color balance it. So I can't tell you how they do it, but they're definitely there.
But that's
doing
cool that there's someone there. That's neat.
Yeah.
I thought, like, every time I see this stuff, I just assume it's all comped in.
Yeah, I did too before this job. Yeah. Yeah, and to answer your question before, we kind of get to choose. So if somebody's like poking something and it needs to be on a certain part of the screen, we get to choose that. But you do have to think about it. So like if the camera is shooting from one side, you know, you usually want the button to be somewhere that's going to be logical for where they're touching it, maybe not logical for real life.
Yeah,
right.
Do you ever get like storyboards and stuff? Like, you know, I mean, assuming like, because I would think you would want to make, you know, set everything up to where, you know, they're, I don't know, to where they're not crossing screen or something like that, you know? Like, do you ever get storyboards where they're like, okay, we're going to do over the shoulder shot, or we're going to do this type of shot, or above shot, or something like that?
Usually not. Like for the feature films, we will sometimes, but for TV shows, like the people I work with are pretty good. Like we have a bunch of meetings and they kind of talk about it a little bit if they have that information, but usually not. We kind of just have to think about what they're probably going to be doing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool, man. I'm
you...
telling you, see, it's a whole nother world that I just
It is.
don't like. I just don't. Yeah, it's so interesting.
What other like real life things do you use for influence? Like for example, like in WandaVision, you can see here's like a spectrum analyzer in the right hand, right? Like that's a real thing. In fact, I've got a thing. Hold on.
Dave has one, probably.
So, it's interesting. They make these. Let me go back to my 3-box here. They make these kind of Raspberry Pi-ish kind of, you know, they're kind of junky the way they're made, but they make like these analyzers, and you could broadcast with these. You can hack stuff with this. You can, you know, do whatever. But in that photo there, that's like a real spectrum analyzer, but in the left hand is the cosmic microwave background radiation anomaly meter. Are you doing a lot of like taking real world devices and like what's a good example of that, I guess?
Yeah, I mean we do all the time. So that is a great example, the one you just gave. Like we do that stuff all the time. In the Flash, they're constantly searching for like dark matter and stuff like that. So they'll be scanning cities. Once in a while, props will let us know if they're building something like that, like something that is like a physical piece, so that we can maybe use parts of what they've built in our designs. Yeah, and then sometimes they'll build like a phone into some crazy thing that looks like it's not a phone anymore, and then we'll like make some like app on there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cool.
That's interesting. Now let's switch gears a little bit, unless you have more questions about Fooey.
What are the main like are there well, I guess you're throwing stuff into Element. You're not too worried about like render engines or anything like that, right?
No, I mean I have used Octane just for some like more personal projects, like some medical videos and stuff like that. But for us, yeah, everything is mostly like diagrammatic, like wireframey. Yeah. Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah. I'd like to learn more like Redshift and stuff if I have the opportunity.
Yeah.
What other okay, first of all, what side project are you working on? Any side projects or like personal projects, animations, films, anything like that, or is work keeping you too busy?
I mean, it's this has been like the last, I want to say 4 months has been the first time probably in my life where I haven't had an ongoing like freelance thing going on at the same time. And also usually I teach, but teaching has kind of taken a backseat as well because there hasn't been any in person. But yeah, so I did some medical videos that were kind of the end of 2020, kind of the beginning of this year. And then my partner, who's a sound designer, he just got like his Atmos system set up. So
cool.
I'm making a little video for him that is just like stuff floating around that you can like design. Not much story, but it's gonna hopefully look cool. Some stuff
that new Logic
around.
Pro, all that spatial sound and
oh
man,
I don't know much about sound other than what he shows me. It sounds cool, but yeah, it's interesting.
I imagine that's gotta sound good. So he's got like he has a studio, right?
It's a studio,
yeah. Is it at your place or is it a separate building? Is it
It's a separate building. Yeah, he's had it for like 10 years or something. I set up all the Atmos gear and yeah,
that's cool.
Joel Zimmerman, aka Deadmau5, he gave us this preview, or what would you call, like a demo of
it was
something like that,
of the Dolby stuff. I was blown away.
Man,
that's cool.
Is way cool.
Nice.
It's like when you can hear that something isn't here on your right, but like slightly forward and up. Like it's just amazing that actually
Yeah,
is a thing.
it's so immersive. Like it really makes you feel like you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, ears.
Yeah. Underrated.
Yeah. And what's great is like because Logic does this now. The new songs coming out on iTunes are like this. They got they even come with a sample version of a lot of Lil Nas X's tracks where you can like break them down and listen to some of the the Atmos and stuff. Man, it's crazy. And
I will be right back.
Okay. The new headphones that Apple came out with too have the spatial sound.
The binaural stuff.
Yeah, and what I realized from some TikTok video is that you can actually lock your point in space. I do not understand how that
cool.
works, but you can lock it. Like, so say you hear something behind you, you can lock it and then turn and be like, oh, it's over here, and like, very
interesting. I wonder how they do that.
Yeah.
Like, interesting.
But
Yeah,
anyway,
that's really cool.
y'all,
Back to school.
y'all travel a lot. Like you go on some trips on the bikes too, right? I've noticed a lot of photos of y'all traveling. And how far do you go when you do a trip like that? Do you stop and?
Yeah, like we definitely stop. So I would say part of what I love about it is like you drive for like however long your body can take. Depends on the day, the weather.
Yeah.
So like I would say the most we've gone in one shot is probably like 3 or 4 hours, and then you stop and have lunch and take your time and usually talk to some people that have bikes and then get going again. Yeah, we like with COVID going on, like we definitely it was a really good opportunity to like explore BC, which is so big. And there's so many islands, and on a bike it's great because you like basically get VIP to get onto the ferries and everything. Like just get on the front, it's great. And last year we were trying to go all the way up to the Yukon, but we got severely rained out, so we'll have to try that again. But yeah, and also like a California trip is in our future hopefully. But
do you feel like it helps like break the monotony of work? And do you ever get ideas while you're
so
does
many
that help?
Yeah, because you're just there with your thoughts like alone for hours. So yeah, I definitely do a lot of thinking. Like yesterday we went for a little ride just up to Squamish, which is like an hour away on the sea to sky here. So beautiful. But I was thinking, because usually I'll make like a Christmas card. It's like bad Photoshop Christmas card and send it out.
Nice.
And I was like thinking real hard about what I'm gonna make this year on my motorcycle. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like when I run, I get a lot of those thoughts because it's just the time alone with your brain.
Yeah.
It's like something about it. You'll have an idea. You could be sitting in front of all your stuff and Cinema 4D and everything else, and you can't come up with an idea until you leave and are alone with your own thoughts. That's when it comes to you.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
It's weird.
Or just like moving your body in a different way. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to do other things. Sitting's not the best.
For sure. Yeah, and by the way, so what other things do you do?
What other things do I do? I cycle a lot. We hike a lot. There's so many great hikes here. Before COVID, we were training for
beautiful.
Yeah. I know.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. We went for a hike on All Hallows Eve. It was by All Hallows Creek, and I posted a landscape photo, and a couple people messaged me on Instagram. They're like, "Oh, BC's fake. Like this is a simulation." It's not real. Yeah, lots of outdoor stuff. I'm not super into winter sports. Like a lot of people here are, but I like cross country skiing and fat biking, like fat biking on the snow.
Oh, with the big
are those
wheels?
like the big tires?
Yeah, it's so fun.
That's cool.
That's cool. Were you boxing for a while too?
I was doing some kickboxing. I haven't done that in a while, but I do really love that. Yeah.
And modeling as well.
Yeah, I used to model.
Got a lot of stuff going on.
I know.
Yeah.
When I was in Toronto, it was like I would sleep like 4 hours a night. Like I was working at a motorcycle shop on the weekends, like freelancing, working a day job.
That's funny.
Modeling, working out.
So just all around badass.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that about sums it up.
I just needed to be doing a lot of things. Yeah.
Well, we also want to ask you some of your favorite things. Real quick,
Yeah.
I want to go to a couple links just to mention. Speaking of that WandaVision, or speaking of WandaVision, there is a helmet shot. I don't know if you've seen WandaVision. There's a helmet shot that I think is so cool, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. And then it really got me thinking, wait, how did they do that? Because there's a fight scene, and the whole scene is the camera going 360 around what's his name's helmet? Vision's helmet. And you can't see the camera, obviously. And it's like, how was that shot created? And so there's a Twitter thread that actually talks about how that was done. So I'll put that in the notes. And then the link for the article on a flood. It's called A Flood of Plastic in 3D. That's on our site. You can check that out. So
Cool.
Mograph recommends. So we're going to ask you some of your favorite things. And this is always great to hear because usually it's stuff that influences what you do. And I think it's a great way for people to understand the people that are on our show and get to know them a little bit better. So we are going to start with your favorite movie.
That one was hard to answer because like all-time favorite movie is definitely Uncle Buck, but I'm like in no way is that like probably I don't know if that influences my work at all. But yeah, I love that movie. Or Big, like with Tom Hanks, like those two.
Classics.
They're just so wholesome.
Big was such an influence on me as a child. Like I told myself that I was never going to grow up, that I would get older, but I would never stop being a child.
Yeah, totally.
Like his apartment with like a trampoline in it. It's like that's the dream right there.
I know. I agree. A pop machine or soda machine. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, maybe it does influence me. Yeah, I know.
Like,
you got bills.
why don't more people have trampolines in their houses? That's my question.
I can't like, answer that.
You know,
can't answer that.
I mean, we can't all be Michael Jackson and have an entire toyland inside of our house, but
I'm just waiting until my kids grow up and move out for me to build the trampoline room.
Okay.
You know? Yeah.
But how do you handle the ceiling? That's the question.
You just don't jump that high.
Build it higher.
Put in a dining room with a vaulted ceiling.
No, yeah, I have a vaulted ceiling in my living room, so I'll just get everything out of my living room and then put a big trampoline in there. Oh, my kid would freaking love that.
Yeah. No, but he's going to be graduated at that point.
Right.
Well, he's never going to grow up, so...
He's the one who gets to get old, not me.
No, what you do is you just help him get a trampoline in his house so that you can just go over there and do it whenever you want.
Right.
Yeah.
Son, I'm coming over to jump on the trampoline.
I think if I had like if you have a trampoline in your house in Vancouver, it would like that room probably costs you because real estate's so expensive here. It'd be like a $500,000 trampoline room.
Yeah. And Sarah says just put a trampoline on the.
I am.
Sarah says put a trampoline on the ceiling. Then you won't.
There you go.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just. And you just start going faster and faster.
Open a hole to another universe or something.
Right.
You reach critical velocity and
combust.
Yeah. You turn into you go supernova and you turn into a black hole.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite TV show while we're at it.
Favorite TV show. I mean, recently just finished up Ted Lasso.
Oh, so good.
There's nothing like FUI related to that, but oh,
it's just
so
a
good.
good show. It's very
so
wholesome.
So
good.
Yeah. I think I just like wholesome things.
Yeah.
I did not realize that Bill Lawrence does that show. Like, and Bill Lawrence, he's one of my favorites, if not my favorite.
Amazing.
Like, love Scrubs. I absolutely love Scrubs.
I have watched Scrubs like 300 times.
He did one of my favorite TV shows ever. It was a cartoon called Clone High.
Oh my god! Mm-hmm. I have this tattoo.
What?
Oh, is that the dolphin?
It's the What's Up dolphin.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing! What's up?
Oh, that is great.
Oh, he did Ted Lasso. That makes so much sense now that you say that.
Yeah. You know, was it Joan was at sleepaway camp or something,
Yeah,
And then
she was
she
like
would.
sleep deprived and got this stupid tattoo. And this was
That
like
is
when I
so
talk about
funny.
being in Toronto and not sleeping and like
Uh-huh.
having 20 jobs, like I got this because it was so relatable at the time. Well, and
That
stupid.
is
I love the show, but
amazing. Oh my
yeah.
gosh. Oh my gosh. The
Yeah.
Clone High was my absolute favorite.
He
Absolute
talks about
favorite.
that all
Yeah.
the time.
I do.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
do. Like you get me and Pickle Nick on like Skype together, and that's all we'll do is just quote Clone High all day,
Amazing.
right?
Amazing.
But
You know,
then he also did Cougar Town. Have you seen Cougar
I have
Town?
not. I'm writing it down.
So Cougar Town, it's like I wasn't like I wasn't a huge fan of the premise or whatever, you
Mhm.
know, or maybe just the name, you
Yeah.
know. But like but I started watching it, and it is a very, very funny show. It's very Bill Lawrence,
Amazing.
you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's on the list. That's awesome.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe your tattoo. That's amazing. That's so cool.
It's a good
I always
coincidence.
try to find like Clone High gifts to like send them to my friends who don't know what it is.
Uh-huh.
And there's like none. Like the donkey corn. Like I always try to find that. I think-
Every time, and we were in LA. We were in LA a little while ago, and I kept on quoting, "You could call me. I'm listed in Santa Monica."
Oh. I shall lay you rice. Or thrice.
I am a honky corn. A donkey corn. Yeah. Oh man.
I have no idea what y'all are
Oh,
talking
it's
about right
so good. It's so good. You did you hear they're doing a new season? They're gonna do a new
I've heard that.
show.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh.
that is
Hope-
exciting.
I hope it actually
My-
happens.
My whole goal in life was to get rich enough to where I could buy the rights to that show and like start making new episodes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I will. How can I help you get rich?
Right? Right? Oh, it's so funny.
now. We'll make our
That's
own
so
version
funny.
of the show.
Right?
Yeah. Clone University.
Yeah.
University. Yeah.
Yeah, they
Well, it
grew
depends. Did they ever get out of that freezer? We don't know.
We don't know.
Right?
Yep.
Hmm. Anyway. All right. Go on.
up. It's like it'd be like Saved by the Bell, the college years.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Hopefully not.
What else do we have? Oh, music.
Music. That was a hard one too because I love ska and I love pop punk.
Oh boy,
Oh,
here
man.
it comes. I'll just sit back
Angie,
again and let y'all go
Angie.
again.
Like one of the last shows that I saw like pre-COVID, we flew down to Back to the Beach Festival in California that
Mhm.
like what's his name? Sheldy puts on. So it was like Blink 182 and like Aquabats, which is
Oh,
or
man.
music. So like I love all
I-
those.
Yeah. I've seen the Aquabats in concert. They're a lot of fun. They've got a lot of energy.
So
I just
fun.
I don't love the Aquabats. Like
Right.
I just don't love the Aquabats. I
There's
don't
a
know.
couple bangers like
Yeah.
Pizza Song.
Yeah.
But what I wrote down here was San Fermin, which is like they're a band from Brooklyn. It's kind of I don't even know how to describe it. You'll just have to listen to it.
Okay. Okay.
Aquabats.
They're good.
You go to an
Ska
Aquabat
music.
show, do you have to have the splash guard?
No.
Well,
Okay.
that show they sold like these pizza-shaped towels, but they sold out in like 5 minutes, so I did not
That's
get
funny.
one.
Do you know the Mad Caddies?
I do not.
Okay, so
No.
the Mad Caddies, there's an album called Punk Rock Steady, right?
Okay.
That is they do ska versions of punk rock bands, of punk rock
Whoa.
songs. So like
Nice.
their version of
Hmm.
She by Green Day is like one of the best covers I've ever heard. You know?
Amazing.
And then they also cover like a propaganda song, and you're like, how are you gonna turn that into like ska? But it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's so good. So
Oh,
so
that's
good.
awesome.
Yeah.
I'm adding to my list here. Thank you.
Good. Good.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just saw a friend, like one of the first concerts we've been to again since like being like stuff is opened again. A friend of mine, they have a band called Rude City Riot, which is like a ska band, like true with like 10 people on stage.
Nice.
So yeah, it kind of bookended this like COVID era of not being able to go to live shows, which is like
Yeah.
in normal times, like we're at shows like every weekend. So that's been hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
What's next, Dave?
All right, next on the list. I just want to make sure y'all were, got all the Scott.
Yeah,
talk.
no, we're good. We're good.
Thank you.
Good. Yeah.
Good. Podcasts. If you listen to podcasts.
Yeah, I listen to podcasts. So like when I'm working, and if it's something that's I don't need to think about, it's just like purely making stuff. I listen to them a lot. A lot of them are like, so 99% Invisible, which I'm sure everyone listens to. And if you don't, you should. 99% Invisible.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that one.
I've
so good.
heard a lot of people talk about that one, but I haven't heard it myself. Wow.
It's great. It's the guy's name is Roman Mars that does it. It basically talks about all types of design. So, like architecture, furniture, just like all of the hidden, like these hidden heroes, like these people that make amazing things that are even inventors, and you never really know who they are. You don't really, sometimes it's invisible design. Yeah, it's really cool. I would say check it out for sure.
Yeah, rad, totally.
And then like I listen to a lot of, there's some like comedic, self-helpy ones. There's one called By the Book, which is these two women in New York that they read self-help books that listeners recommend, and then they live by them for 2 weeks.
Oh gosh,
Oh,
that's great.
Funny.
It's hilarious. Like it's usually like, sometimes it works out, but usually it's just hilarious.
It sounds like you might like My Brother and Me.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I do not.
Yes.
I'll write it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's these brothers. It's huge. They even had their own TV show based on it at one point. It's these three brothers, and they give bad advice to questions. And then some people also submit Yahoo Answers questions, and they give bad advice on those too. And a lot of them are just hilarious Yahoo Answers questions that people find and send them to them. Like, why do I feel like I'm a car? Sometimes when I'm running, I'm like really going, and I like put my car face on, and I feel like I'm a car. And then they'll answer that question,
That's amazing. Yeah. I will check that out too.
And then if you like D&D, they've got a spin-off show that's D&D with their dad as well. So that one's really good.
Get into that world.
What other podcasts?
Yeah.
What else?
There's a psychologist named Esther Perel. So she also has a podcast. This one's not funny. It's like serious, but she it's called Where Should We Begin? And then she has another one called How's Work? But she basically just does like a live session with like the How's Work one. It'll be like a boss and like one of their employees that are having like communicational issues, and then they like talk about it. I don't know. I just find it really interesting. Yeah.
Man, I feel like you wonder, like, I don't know. It almost feels like something you can't come back from,
Yeah.
Like a boss and an employee, kind of duking it out on a podcast.
Yeah.
It's like, I wonder how many of the employees actually like leave after that point.
It's possible, yeah. I mean, some of them too are like, it'll be like family members that have this weird power dynamic because you're like reporting to your brother or something.
Right.
It's not like you can just leave.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Any other ones?
Yeah.
That's all I can think of right now. Yeah.
Now, without naming a render engine, what would be your plugin of choice?
Plugin of choice. I mean, the one that I mentioned before, that's actually a script, is that layer repeater thing. Like, I feel like I can't live without that now.
Is that on AE Scripts?
It is,
I was looking that up just a second ago.
Yeah.
So does it actually like repeat it in 3D space?
Yeah, it's the only thing that I could find that would repeat shape layers in 3D space.
Oh, rad. Okay.
Yeah, so you can use it, like, I'll make like floor plans out of it. So sometimes we'll get like a floor plan, and then I won't have time to like make it in 3D. So I'll do that, but it also looks pretty cool. Or you can use it as kind of like a really like amped up like randomizer. So you can put different shapes in there, and then like everything's controllable. So you can control like the opacity, the position in like XYZ space. Yeah, it's pretty useful. Again, it's like more workflow time savery than anything, but it's pretty powerful. It's
cool.
Such a simple one. Yeah.
I'm looking at it right here in the on the dingus. Yeah. Let me skip ahead here. See how that works. Yeah.
I wish I
it's
could
kind of
say.
like it's almost like a cloner object, right?
Yeah, definitely is. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I wish I could say
yeah.
something more badass, like.
See, I'm. It's like why it. It's like why isn't stuff like this automatically built into After Effects? You know?
Yeah, and
it's like you've got stuff similar to that with text, but that's about it. You know?
Yeah, I agree. Maybe because people make this stuff, so like, why would we bother? But
yeah. After Effects is just the shell, you know. But still.
Yeah. And I've been trying to get better at like expressions, because obviously you could probably write this yourself, but it's just nice that it's somebody else did it already.
Right. Yeah, I don't know when could they at least get to the point where you can navigate in 3D a little bit better in After Effects.
Actually, the navigation in 3D is much better now.
It's been a little better, I agree.
Yeah, like with the new handles and everything, and the new cameras and stuff, like I find I'll sometimes forget that like I'm not in cinema, and I'll try the alt and move around and stuff, and it works. It works just fine.
Nice.
The rotate tool has been the biggest improvement, I think. Where they would have like the little lines at least, so you can see what you're doing. But what else?
I was gonna ask you guys, did you ever? So I talk about this all the time, and it makes me feel so old. But when I when I first started using After Effects, you used to be able to just bring in like an OBJ, like straight in.
Yeah.
Or no, you couldn't. You had to go into Photoshop and then bring it in. But
at one point you didn't have to. You could just bring that in.
You bring it straight in.
I remember you bring it straight in. Really? Yeah. It was weird. It was like from I want to say like 5.5 or something, and then 6, and then at some point they changed it, because I remember doing an animation and being like, okay, this is cool, and then the very next version, like,
I was like, where is
do
this?
that anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I missed it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, just wanted to mention that.
Now, when you pick up your phone, what is your muscle memory app that you go to right now?
Muscle memory app.
Not TikTok. I tried to find you on TikTok.
I don't have TikTok. Yeah, I stopped using Facebook as well. Like, I really only have Instagram. And I'm so bad at posting it other than, like, personal stuff. But yeah, I guess I would say Instagram. Or Filmora Go. That one's good, too.
What is that?
Filmora Go. It's like a phone editing, like, video editing app.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I do, because we do lots of drone stuff. Like, I got my drone license. Started flying drones, so like can just edit all of that right on my phone and upload it to Instagram like right away. Yeah, that's cool.
That's cool.
I've been using Splice for that, and I really like some of the features of Splice.
I'll try that out too.
Yeah, especially when it comes to like separating audio clips and slowing clips down, and just the way the timeline works. If you're working on a phone, you really have to have something that makes sense, because it's hard to do, you know.
Can you you can do multi-layers with that? Because like Filmora doesn't have that on the phone anyway.
Yeah, you got multi-layers, you got different layers of audio, you can do sticker layer, you know, text layer, all of that stuff. So I think you can do a trial of it on the iPhone.
Yeah, I'll try it out.
Do you play any video games?
Occasionally. I was into Borderlands. We were playing Borderlands last year. I was trying to play through it, but it was so buggy that I just got frustrated and stopped. And then like just simple games like NHL, nothing like long story wise. But I'll watch like my partner plays like Red Dead Redemption and a bunch of zombie ones that I can't remember the name of. Yeah.
What about this is a tough one. Mitch Meyer's example of this is you turn the toaster on its side for some bomb-ass grilled cheese. So this would be, what is your favorite life hack? And it can be something like gimmicky or useful.
Right. So something that I don't know if I'd say if it's a life hack or if it just came out of frustration is I don't know if they have this everywhere, but here in Canada at least, when you pull up to a light and you're turning left, there's usually like lines on the road. Here we have like circles, and if you put your tires on those, you'll actually get an advanced like green, so you can turn left, and the traffic is like halted on the other side. And I feel like not enough people know that you have to like put your tires on them. And like I'm very conscious of it on a motorcycle, so I'll like put my feet on them. Sometimes I'll hang back Like, so I get.
I had no idea.
Yeah, and like sometimes I'll see people sitting there for like 2 or 3 light cycles not being able to turn because they don't know that those sensors are on the road. So I'd say watch out for those if you're trying to turn left.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't have that here.
That is interesting. They don't have
No?
that there.
No, they
they
don't.
don't have that here. No.
Interesting.
So do that next
That's
time
cool.
we're in Canada.
Right?
You know what? They probably do because I think I learned from this on like
There
some
are-
TV show.
I don't think they do circles, but I know there's sensors, you know, that they
Sometimes there
put
are sensors.
underground or whatever, but
But
Yeah,
that's
usually
across
you
the
can see the
board.
line. Like,
Yeah.
you'll see, like,
you can see the line.
but
Yeah, they'll do some where they put like magnets underneath everything. So they have sensors. The car drives up, the magnets obviously goes off because it's a giant metal object.
Circular
Yeah.
tar line in the asphalt. Okay.
Yes.
Circular
That's what I
tar
like.
line. See, we don't have that.
Interesting.
It's
Yeah,
just
I
like
don't know.
yeah.
I'll send you
Huh.
a photo later.
Huh.
Yeah, please
Alright,
do.
yeah.
Please do. That's funny.
Very interesting traditions in Canada. Let me just.
That's funny.
Cool. Well,
Yep.
that covers that. Are you ready to get into some NFT stuff? Get to the drop?
Yeah.
What do you say? What do you say?
Let's go over to the drop.
All
Let's-
right.
Let's get it over with.
Let's let's get it over with. Okay.
The drop.
Is this the fucking mic? This is exactly what I should be doing.
What's up? Oh, geez. What's up, everyone? Welcome to this week's episode of The Drop, your weekly source for all things NFT and crypto art, as well as upcoming drops by notable people in the Mograph industry. I'm Matt Milstead. Joining me, as always, is Dave Koss, and joining us this week is Angie Ferret.
Hello.
Let's see. Yeah, sorry, I didn't have my notes up, and I was getting to it, and I was like, oh, I could do this without my notes, and then I totally bombed that. Let's see. Got to keep it fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. There is a few drops on Nifty Gateway this week. Going into the Nifty Gateway Maker's Place drop. Oh, I'm really excited about one of these on Maker's Place. You guys,
All right.
y'all are gonna be excited. All right, but first up, we got Nifty Gateway. There was like 5 drops this week, but a couple of them I didn't have any tweets for, so I just went ahead and skipped them. But on the 3rd of November, we've got Hackatow is doing a collector drawing. So if you own one of their pieces, you will get to enter into one of their drawings, which is pretty sweet. Is what?
Why does this look like Marceline?
I don't know. Click on Hackatow. Like, click on their Twitter. You can see their style.
See the mouth?
I
and
know
you
that-
see the
yeah.
down here?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's very much their style.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
not
Which
that.
that piece right there is beautiful.
It's beautiful. Whoa, look at that. How it comes
right?
off. Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
That's nice.
That's
Where's
cool.
the other?
That's cool
See,
piece.
okay, it doesn't look so much like Adventure
yeah,
Time
yeah.
from here. Just in
Yeah.
that one particular. See, they look like
Yeah.
Marceline down there. But
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, that's the 3rd. On the 4th, Marco Mori is doing a drop on Nifty Gateway. Let's see. Oh, this one looked really cool.
Whoa.
Yeah, really interesting stuff. I like the fire.
Yeah.
That renders fire.
That render is fire. It's funny.
No, I'm just giving you the facts. That render is
Right.
fire. Oh, hello, cat.
Pretty cool. Hello, cat.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
And then this last one that we've got is for the 6th, and the name is Dave Pullett.
Okay.
Pullett.
Ooh, that's
But what's
pretty.
interesting about this, it says Crypto Trader 2, a dynamic NFT I've coded with 12 different states that vary
Ooh.
depending on the day-over-day trends as well as long-term milestones. I think that is super cool. I love
Yeah.
that. So like they're able to update like what the artwork looks like based off of, you know, the day and different trends and stuff going on. I think that's super cool. I love that. Like, I think this is the stuff. I think this is probably the first one that I've seen Nifty Gateway do like this, you know,
With
and
the
I'd like to see more of that.
gamification?
Yeah, with the gamification type
Yeah.
stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it for Nifty Gateway. Let's go over to Maker's Place. The first one is Zevi G, Lovejoy in Crypto. Zevi G. It's for a Mograph artist, it's kind of simplistic looking stuff. And what annoys me more than anything, if you hit play, that there's no spray that actually comes out of the spray can when they're spray painting. Like, look at this.
What happens?
Oh, nothing.
What? Why would?
I know.
So,
this is one of the things. Like, it's the
knowing how the sauce is made, right?
Right, we do. Yeah, we know how to sauce. And then this is very big into it feels like, crypto art with the, Bitcoins and the whatever,
This is
very
made
popular
in, though. Like,
I don't know. C4D probably.
Blender, because Blender's free.
You hear Blender's free. Yeah, I heard it was free. So anyway, so that's the second. Next up on 11/3, the greatest drop to ever happen of all time. You ready? MC Hammer. MC Hammer is doing an NFT drop.
Wow.
Too legit. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Now wait a minute. This is video. Is this a video NFT?
I have no idea. I really don't know what it's about. But MC Hammer is doing a drop on Maker's Place.
I thought maybe
if you know MC Hammer, like MC Hammer is actually very big in this space. Like he is a very big collector. As I understand, it's really interesting.
And he's just big into social media and things in general. He's very, very much.
Yep.
Nobody manages his social media account.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
love myself some MC Hammer.
Yeah, me too.
So yeah, that's super exciting. And then
I just keep thinking about my, growing up, being like in 5th grade, getting my first MC Hammer CD.
Right.
Like,
or wearing those MC Hammer pants.
I didn't wear the Hammer pants.
Oh man, I wore the MC Hammer pants. I loved them.
You had Hammer pants?
I had Hammer pants, yo.
Did you do like everybody else, or pull them up to your neck?
I mean, you could. I don't remember one particular instance in which I did, but I'm sure I could.
I wish we knew more about what this actually was. I want to see what this. Does it say who he's collaborating with?
I don't know.
Or if he's collaborating.
What?
When is that?
When is it?
It's the 3rd.
November
November 3rd.
Okay.
It's coming up.
Exactly 1 month before my birthday. In case anyone is interested.
You should get yourself a present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
MC Hammer NFT.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
My wife will be like, "What? Why did you buy this?"
My wife.
Yeah. So then on the 4th, Yiying Lu. I'm not sure whether I'm pronouncing that correctly. The Luminary. I love the colors on this. Really, really pretty, really nice. Beautiful work. Yeah. Very bright.
Extremely bright.
But yeah, super, very vivid. Really pretty work.
I love folk art.
Yeah. So that's it as far as like the big drops. Let's see. For our community drops, Dave, I'm not sure if you put this on here. I will copy the link. But Gurnge finally got his super rare.
Finally.
So thanks to all of us in the space.
All of us, you're right.
All of us rabbling that Gurnge needs to be on super rare. He finally got his super rare invite, and so he's dropping his super rare Genesis November 8th, which is exciting.
I'm glad he went with the black background on this.
Yes, as am I.
Talking about it this
I think
morning.
It looks really good.
Yeah, it really makes it pop.
Right.
Really helps it pop.
Yeah. Looks good. Yeah, super excited about that.
Cool. I saw he was working on this. I didn't realize that he didn't even have a platform for it at the time, and he was great. Finally, he got in.
I think he was considering putting it somewhere else, but he really wanted to put this one on super rare. So
and then everybody
did you see
twittering about like you need to add Billy and like just nothing. Yeah.
Right. Did you see the one that he just sold?
I did not. Is it on his Twitter?
Yeah. Let me copy the link.
Because I could get it off the Twitter. Oh, are you talking about the
cyberpunky looking one?
Yeah.
Okay, open that up. I just sent it to the link. It sent it in the chat.
I completely forgot about this. I completely forgot. I knew he was doing it.
Look up at the top right.
Yeah, because he asked me for a file the other day.
Yeah, it's the drop.
The drop right there. You see it? That's
so
awesome.
Cool.
I completely forgot about that. I wasn't even looking for it.
Yep.
Oh, that's so awesome. Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Billy's going to be on in a few weeks. We're going to have some serious nerd convos about all the NFT things in crypto.
All the NFT.
So expect a long NFT segment on that episode.
And then last one from Neil. Neil says, "Hey, Matt and Dave, thanks for mentioning our NFT drop on the podcast last week. My brother Sean and I really appreciate it. We wanted to share that our split listings on the 3-part Echo Geometry series dropped on Foundation today. I hope that you can mention it on the podcast. Of course we will. Here's a link to check them out." So yeah, super cool stuff. Super cool. Really like it.
Yeah. Awesome. Reserve price 1.33 ETH.
1.33 ETH. And that's all I got for NFT stuff this week.
Okay. I have some things in the NFT
Go
world.
ahead, Dave.
But before I do, let me just close this. I hate when these websites are open because it makes my face washed out.
I was going to say, you've been washed out this whole time. I was going to text you and say something, but I was like, nah, he's a professional. He knows what he's doing.
Whenever I open a giant white screen on my on my screen, it's so large that it's just in my face. And so I try and keep them closed if I'm not looking at, or I got to go to dark mode, right?
Right.
So anyway, look who's here.
Oh, that's right. I thought we had made it all the way through the show without this.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Dorothy.
Hey, Angie. How's it going?
What's up? Good. How are you?
Pretty good. Everyone's talking about the metaverse this week, and I'm having a hard time making heads or tails of it.
My gosh. This is so fired. I feel like you've used that joke before.
No, I have not.
Okay.
No, it's obvious. Mark Zuckerberg has been working a lot in the bark round.
The
bark round. To
What's the
prove
bark
that he's
round?
totally human.
Oh, in the background.
Yes.
Right.
He's been working in the bark round to prove that he's totally human and totally not a robot.
Right.
You know. But hey, who doesn't keep a bottle of Sweet Baby Ray's on the bookshelf? Am I right?
Right.
You never know when you're gonna have a doggy bag. You're gonna need some extra barbecue sauce.
Barbecue. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta go check out what all this metaverse stuff is about, and I might have to run because I accidentally swallowed some food coloring a couple minutes ago. A couple days ago. That says I'm okay, but I feel like I've just died inside a little bit.
Oh my gosh. That wasn't even a dog joke anymore.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
He's out of dog puns, Matt.
Okay.
The dog puns, they're just... I have Googled dog puns, and every dog pun is something I've already done.
That's fine.
So I got nothing left. That's why we got all the new characters coming. You know, you got a little bit of... You got a little bit of the shark dude. What's his name?
Oh boy,
NFT shark.
NFT shark. Yeah.
You had the werewolf last week.
The werewolf. I forgot about the werewolf.
Got some other things planned. Yeah.
Cool.
I had some things I wanted to talk about as far as NFTs and crypto and stuff like that. And, like Dorothy said, the metaverse.
It's interesting.
I'm
real mad that it's Facebook who's.
I'm mad that it's Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook's the worst.
But Facebook brings validity to it in making this announcement. That's kind of what I was getting at. Like that. I mean, we're all kind of involved in this. You know?
Here's what needs to happen with Facebook. Facebook needs to go back to instead of the curated timeline, if it would go back to just like, hey, here's what people are saying. You know, like an actual like timeline. You know. Because also, say there's an emergency at my wife's school where she works, right? And they put out a Facebook notification about it. This happened the other day. Some people don't get it on their curated timelines until 16 hours later.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, what needs to happen is they need to go back to the normal timeline where you can see things as they happen.
And not put it on Facebook.
Well, I agree. But still, like, they need to do that, and then Facebook needs to get rid of Zuckerberg.
They can't because he owns...
I know.
Yeah. It's not like...
I know.
They can't vote him out.
I know. I'm just saying, like Facebook, like, at least for advertising is great on Facebook, you know? Like being able to connect all these different things and stuff like that. It's real good for advertisers.
Yeah, it's
you
okay.
know.
It's
Yeah,
not
it's
as good
okay.
now that Apple has really messed
Right.
that up, but I don't know. I think that I don't like them, and I don't really want to have anything to do with their metaverse, even though I own an Oculus
Oh, yeah,
Rift, so
for
that
sure.
makes it kind of hard. But
Yep.
I just like that it's adding validity to what we're doing. I mean, we've just started in crypto. We've just started in crypto art. But
Yeah.
we have all known that this is going to the metaverse, right? Everything's encrypted. Everything's based on cryptocurrency. People are going to be selling objects and whatever else it's going to
Yeah.
be in 10 years from now. Just who knows? The going idea is that the metaverse is going to be a $28 billion industry by 2025.
Sure.
So
Yeah, I can see that. I mean,
Yeah.
I can definitely see that. I can see where it's going, but I don't want Facebook to be in charge of it.
I don't either, and it doesn't mean they're going to be in charge of it. This is an open thing. That's not. I'm not talking about whatever Facebook is talking about. I'm just talking about in general. Crypto, the blockchain, all of that is an open thing. So I think some of that is actually going to be out of Zuck's hands. Thank goodness, his robot hands.
It's robot.
And I don't know. I just think that it is good that it adds validity to what we're doing. That's the only thing, and other people are going to follow it. That's only good for us. You see where I mean, there was a CryptoPunk that it went for what, $500 million?
$500 million, but it was only for like a split second or something like that. It was. It's like they took out a loan.
Yeah.
They took out a loan for like $500 million and then bought the thing off of themselves and then paid back the loan. It was stupid. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, what is going on there? I don't know.
Have you
stuff
seen?
I just don't get.
I'm not sure. I don't think we talked about this because this happened this week. Human One.
That's on my list as well.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
okay, we can keep going.
Well,
then.
we can go. No, we can just go to that. Human One.
Yeah, let's go to it.
This is Beeple's new thing.
Yeah.
And it's how do you explain this? It's a box.
It is. Okay, so it is a rotating box, right? Can you bring it up? Look at the tweet that I just sent you. Yeah.
Cool.
So it's like a life-size, like tall. It's like 6 feet tall or 7 feet tall, whatever. And it's rotating around, and you've got like this character walking inside. And I'm assuming it's camera mapped, to the actual like video and stuff like that. So you can see this person walking through the Beepleverse or whatever. It's pretty cool. And so it's an actual physical piece that Beeple's auctioning off at Christie's right now. And what's cool about it is because he's able to update it as he goes along, so it's an updatable thing.
Like the concept is very simple, like the way that it works. I mean, you're just going to rotate the camera at a certain rate, and then the platform is going to rotate at that same rate. And as long as they start at the same time,
yeah.
that's all you
I
need,
mean, it's
right?
also all going to depend on where you're standing as well,
My
because it's not a
question is-
holographic display.
Right. As I'm looking at it now, are the screens on the outside facing out, or are they inside? Like, I can't tell. They're inside the
I think-
box?
No, so there's 4 screens that are based. I'm pretty sure there's 4. Yeah, thank you.
I'm trying to figure this out. Like,
There's 4 screens, right? I
are they in
believe.
the inside of the structure?
They're inside.
Is there a screen on the bottom?
Uh,
Or are these on the
No.
outside facing?
They're on
out?
the out. Well, they're on the outside. They're flush with the thing,
Okay, so anything
just
that you're
looks
seeing
like it's
on
on
the
the
inside is
inside.
fake. Okay, so these are
Right.
Okay,
Right.
that's what I wasn't
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
about.
Yeah. But
Okay,
yeah,
well that makes
it's
sense.
it's cool. It's a really cool art piece.
It's a great piece.
Yeah.
And has this
So-
already gone to auction or no?
It is at Christie's right now. I don't know when it goes to auction.
Okay.
So
I was just curious. I'm curious what this is going to go for. This is very interesting.
right. It's interesting to see like an actual physical piece, and I'm not sure whether he's actually auctioning off the NFT as well for it.
I don't know how you would. I guess you could.
Yeah, I don't know. So-
I just wonder what else is coming now, because I feel like he's starting to explore some very interesting realms here.
It's interesting seeing him go from like digital artists to now doing digital and physical combined. You know,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
Gonna have to have him on the show again someday.
yeah, he'll do it because he loves us.
That's
know.
right. He does love us.
Right?
Does he?
I
hope
think
so.
so. He
People, do you
enjoyed
love
camp.
us?
He enjoyed camp.
Yeah, we haven't had him on since all of this happened, so it'd be interesting to
Yeah.
do an episode of The Drop with him.
Right.
Oh my
Right.
goodness. That will be a long episode. That should be a special. If that
should be a
happens, for
special.
sure.
A
Yeah.
TV series.
Yeah.
There
Billy
is a
says there's a version of this on
of this
OpenSea. That's interesting.
Okay, cool.
And I'm guessing that it's not. I'm guessing that it's just like a flat version. I wonder if it's rotating around or how that works. Anyway, do we have any other things to hit here? I think we hit it all. We got some links and stuff that are, have to do with this. That'll all be in the show notes. You can check that out in the crypto links. But I believe that's it for the drop.
Yeah, if you have any drops that you want us to chill on the show, feel free to email us info@mograph.com and we'll show it off.
All right.
Let's get back
out
to
of
the show.
drop.
The drop. Drop.
Is this the fucking mic? This is exactly what I should be doing.
All right.
All right,
Angie,
we're back.
thank you so much for being on the show with
Yeah.
us today.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, this is awesome. It's nice to catch up.
Yeah,
Look
totally.
at that. Over 2 hours already. It goes by fast. doesn't it?
That
Yeah.
was so fast.
Yeah.
We will. I'm sure we'll see you at NAB. NAB.
So-
It's happening
Fingers
this
crossed.
year. I can feel it. I can feel it.
Get the
Yes.
motorcycles ready. Come all the way
Yes.
down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Motorcycle through the desert. Yeah.
Yep. The
Yeah.
border's open. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
If
Yeah,
people
thanks
want,
again.
yeah.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for letting me talk about myself. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Anytime.
And if people want to find you online, where can they find you? And what are your handles?
So my Instagram is just Angie Ferret, one word, and then my website's angieferret.com. That's pretty much all the social media I have right now. Yeah.
Rock on.
Cool.
Cool.
And we're going to get out of here. We got, man, there's a lot going on. There's a lot
Yeah,
going
there
on.
is.
So we got to get it all done. Got to get these courses out and things. Got a lot more stuff we're going to be announcing here pretty soon. You can rate us on iTunes, leave a review, subscribe on your podcatcher of choice. It helps get our ratings up. You can subscribe to our newsletter, which actually should be going out this Thursday, I believe. Is that right, Jeremy?
Something
Sure.
like that.
Let's see. You can say you've been there, done that, got the T-shirt with the Mograph logo tee. The gosh, I can't speak. Feel the
You
Bab.
can't speak.
Bleh. Feel the Bab 2020 shirt. All the profits from that go to Doctors Without Borders. The Render Things T-shirt, hoodie, and long sleeve tee. Make sure you get yourself a nice, comfy Render Things sweatshirt for the wintertime around the fire, around the campfire. Got That Render is Fire shirt, which you are only allowed to wear ironically,
Unless
unless
you're
you're
shams.
shams. And gosh, what a terrible take two. Mograph blandishment shirt, which is also up on the website. You can get all of that mograph.com/merch. There we go. I finally got through that segment. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, mograph.com. Make sure you add us on TikTok. Angie, get on that TikTok and
I think I will, yeah.
add us on there. There's some fun
Okay.
stuff on there. There's some
It
really
will waste
creative
a
things.
lot of your time.
Oh man. If you want something that's better than surfing Facebook, go to TikTok. That's all I gotta say
Thank
about that. But, yeah, that covers it. Thanks again, and
Yep.
we're looking forward to seeing you in real life.
You too. Thank you.
All right, till next time. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt.
And I'm Angie.
Have a good one.
Later, yo.